Hey guys, Wade Willis here for my playthrough of Fate Stay Night, and I'm on the Fate route, and we've got through the prologue. We can kind of assume that Emiya, at the end of the prologue, had actually summoned Saber, and now we're getting to the first day part, but we're seeing it from his perspective as opposed to Ren's. Excited to see things from his perspective right now, and yeah, let's go.
ああ、それがいい。雑用を残しているようなやつは首相失格だからな。あんまり藤村先生を困らせるなよ。あの人、怒ると本気で怖いぞ。
I hate this guy so much.
余計なお世話だ。ともかくお前はもう部外者なんだから、道場に近づくなよ。
Shinji returns to his seat in his usual manner. He seemed even more irritated than usual today.
ふざけたやつだ。自分からエミヤを追い出しておいて、よくもあんな口が聞ける。
なんだ伊勢、いたのか。
なんだとはなんだ。気を利かして聞き耳を立てていた友人に向かって、なんと冷淡な男だお前は。
なんで気を利かすのさ。俺一斉に心配されるようなことをしてないぞ。
たわけ、心配もするわ。エミヤはカッとなりやすいからな。真珠に殴りかかれば皆は喝采を送るが、女どもからは非難の嵐だ。友人をそんな微妙な立場に置くのはよろしくない。
I don't know why any girl would like Shinji. He's such a dick.
そっか。言われてみればそうだ。ありがとう、伊勢。そんなことにはならないだろうけど、今の心配はありがたい。
Got a little bit of a bromance here.
分かればよろしい。だが意外だったぞ。エミヤは怒りやすいくせにマトウには寛大なんだな。
ああ、あれはシンジの味だからな。付き合いが長いとなる。
His style is just being a piece of crap.
そんなものか。
そんなものです。ほら、納得したら席に戻れよ。そろそろ藤村先生がすっ飛んでくるぞ。
あの方は飛んでくるというより浮いてくるという感じだかな。
The homeroom bell rings. The homeroom teacher would usually come 5 minutes early, but our homeroom teacher isn't like that. For Class 2C, homeroom starts 1 minute after the bell rings, right when we hear... and Fujini runs into the classroom. Wham! Fujini falls over with a terrible sound. The classroom is filled with silence, in contrast to the clamor from a second ago. A sudden change of atmosphere. Just as you expect from Fujini, her nickname of Human Jet Coaster isn't just for show. But that really was a bad hit. Fujini is still on the ground, having hit her head on the platform. You can't see her expression with her head facing the ground, so it gives you a bad mental image.
Oi, 前の席のやつ、先生起こしてや
So
れよ。
she got knocked out?
やだよ。近づいた途端パクって食べられたら怖いもん。
ミミックじゃあるまいし、さすがに藤村でもそこまでやらねえだろ。
あんたね、そう言うんなら自分で起こしてあげなさいよ。
うわ、俺パス。こういうの苦手。
私だって苦手よ。だいたいなんで女の子にやらせるわけ？男子やりなさいよね、男子。
The front row is getting noisy. As we're in the middle rows, we can't tell what sort of state Fujini is in. We can't tell, so we all stand up to look.
ちょっと先生動いてないぞ。気絶してんじゃないのか？
Someone asks. If so, the problem would be how to get her to the nurse's office. Everyone here is a warrior who has been with Fujini for the past year. They probably want to get out of the habit of taking their teacher to the nurse's office.
藤村先生、 丈夫ですか？
A brave female student calls out to her. Fujini doesn't even twitch. A sense of worry runs through the room.
まずいって今の転び方。こう頭から直角に教壇に突っ込んだじゃないか。あれで無傷だったら藤村無敵っぽいって。いっそのこと野球部にスカウトするのはどうだろう。やめろよな、そういう脅しは。タイガーが顧問になった日には俺たち甲子園行っちまうぞ。
藤村先生、藤村先生、ダメ。なんか反応ないよ。
おい、お前目の前なんだから起こしてやれよ。やだよ俺。もし死んでたら殺されかねねえ。
でもだからってほっといたら後が怖いと思うし。
Shiro needs to go up there.
でも誰も近づきたくないと。仕方ねえな。こうなったらあれしかないか。
うん、あれだね。
せーの。
All our hearts become one. Well, not Shinji and I because we're too scared.
せーの。
Even though everyone said it at the same time, it's only as loud as a whisper. The tiger part is especially quiet, but still, a twitch. The silent Fujini reacts.
動いた。効き目ありだぞみんな。
What the hell?
よし続けろ。ガコロートンの刑じゃ。
Everyone must be stressed from the impending exams. Even though they shouldn't, they repeat Fujini's nickname while waving their arms.
起きろタイガー。朝だぞ。
先生、起きないとタイガーです。
負けるなタイガー。立ち上がれタイガー。よし起きろ先生。それでこそタイガーだぜ。
タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー、タイガー。ガー。タイガーって言うな。
A roar of lightning. She stands bravely as the fall has done nothing at all.
みんな何してるの？ダメよ、ホームルーム中に席を立っちゃ。ほらほら、始めるから座りなさい。
Fujini stands before everyone in her usual manner. It seems all memories from the moment she entered the classroom have fled her head.
おい、タイガー覚えてないみたいだぞ。ラッキー。朝からついてるな俺たち。いや、ついてるっていうのかな、こういうの。
I'm gonna adjust this. Everyone turns to their seats, chatting.
今誰か先生のことバカにしなかった？
してないっすよ。気のせいじゃないっすか。
そっか、ならよし。じゃあ今朝のホームルームを始めるから、みんなおとなしく聞くように。
Fujini starts homeroom slowly. She chats in between the announcements so we don't get through it very fast.
そういうわけだから、みんなも下校時刻を守るように。門限は6時だから、部活の子たちも長居しちゃダメよ。
6時って言ったらすぐじゃんか。タイガ先生、それって運動系は免除されないの？
されません。それと後藤くん、先生のことは藤村先生って言わなくちゃダメなんだから、次に名前で呼んだら怒るからね。
はーい。以後注意します。
Goto-kun sits down again. not showing any signs of listening to her. How stupid of him. Fujini gets mad when she says she will. It makes no difference that he's a student, she's a teacher. He doesn't realize that she gave him a final warning.
それじゃあ今日のホームルームはここまで。みんな3次元目の英語で会おうね。
Fujini leaves waving her hand. She's the teacher responsible for Class 2C Fujimura Taiga. Mura, sorry. Her nickname is Tiger. You might doubt it, but it really is her nickname. People like calling her so she has a nickname like Taiga, but Fujini herself hates the nickname. According to her, it's unfeminine. But she's that kind of person, so I think it's her own fault that she has an unfeminine nickname.
授業を始める。日直礼を。
The teacher for the first period enters as Fujini exits. It's like this every morning as Fujini continues homeroom until the very last minute. And the classes end like every other day. There are many kinds of students, ones that go to clubs, ones that hurry home, ones that stay in the classroom for no reason. It looks like I won't be in any of those categories.
すまない。ちょっといいかエミヤ。今朝の続きなんだが、今日は時間あるか。
いや、予定はあるといえばあるけど。
It's not like I'm just playing around. After all, the main reason I quit the archery club is because I wanted to prioritize work. It's already been 5 years since father died, and I decided to start working to pay my living expenses. If you work a lot, there are some jobs you can't refuse. Today's an example. They're restocking inventory at work, and they asked me to come if I can, as any help is appreciated. But it's certainly not something I have to go to. They're probably just having people come in because they want to party after work. There are two options. I feel sorry for Issei, but I should prioritize work. I didn't promise to be there, but I said I'd do my best to go there, so I should.
いや、悪い、一世。先約があるんで、今朝の続きはまたにしてくれないか。
先約？ああ、例のアルバイトか。そうか、それは困らせたな。こちらは今日明日で進退が決まるものでもない。俺の頼みなど気にせず、労働に励んでくれ。
すまん。明日の朝一で続きをするから、それでチャラにしてくれ。
ん？そこまで深刻な話でもないと言っただろう。急を要していたものは今朝で片付いた。残った修理品はエミヤの手が空いた時で構わんさ。
そっか。じゃあバイトの休みが取れたら続きをするってことでいいかな。
一切ない。その時はまた頼りにするぞ、エミヤ。
Yeah, that guy ain't paying me. I ain't gonna go out of my way. Issei says farewell and leaves the classroom.
さて。
I should hurry off too. Even though there's no set time to be there, I should head to the neighboring town if I'm going to go to work.
参ったな。ほんの手伝いのつもりだったのに3万円ももらってしまった。
Dang, that's some good money. Call it receiving a windfall, I guess. Copenhagen, the place where I work today, is like a liquor store and a bar, and a lot of people are needed to restock inventory. It's a big job that takes at least 5 people, and it doesn't hurt to have more help. But the boss just said to have everyone in his usual tone.
手伝える人は手伝ってね。
Completely relaxed about it. But as it turned out, I was the only one who came, along with the boss and his daughter, Neko-san.
バカだねあんた。そりゃ誰も来るわけないじゃん。
Neko-san was scolding the boss, but I showed up to be a victim, defying their expectations. They welcomed me with a cheer, and we decided to clean up the storage area the best we could. And so before we realized 2 hours had passed and we finished restocking the inventory.
驚いたな。シロ君はあれかな、ブラウニーか何かかな。
After work, the boss eats a brown cake while being impressed.
違います。力仕事には慣れてるし、ここのバイトも長いし、倉庫のどこに何があるかぐらいは把握してるからです。伊達にガキの頃からここで働かせてもらってません。
あ、そっか。あれ、シロ君ってもう5年だっけ？
そのぐらいですね。親父が亡くなってからすぐに雇ってくれたの親父さんのとこだけだったし。
ありゃりゃ、まあ、僕も年を取るわけだ。
He eats his rum cake. Neko-san is drinking hot sake next to him. The family is well balanced, as the boss likes sweet things while his daughter likes spicy things. So,
けど助かったわ。こんだけやってもらって、おだちんがケーキだけっていうのもあれだし。はい、これ僕からの気持ち。
he hands me 3 $10,000 yen bills. So I think that's like $300. A reward unmatched for the 3 hours of work I did. Much more than I should get even for a week's work.
どうも。
I hesitate, but I decide to accept what I'm given. And as I'm leaving Copenhagen... Oh,
ちょい待ち。エミヤ、今日の話誰から聞いた？
Neko-san stops me while curled up in front of the heater.
確か古見さんですけど。
学生に自分の仕事を押し付けるんじゃないってのよ、あのバカ。まあそれはいいとして。何？じゃあ今日の棚卸しまた聞きだったのに来たんだ。
まあ暇だったら手伝ってくれって感じで。
古見もバカだけどエミヤンもおバカさん。まあいいけど、君さ、人の頼みを断ったことないでしょう。前に私と父が風邪で寝込んだ時も店番してくれたし。
別にそんなことはないですけど、俺無理な注文は受けませんもん。自分でできることでできる場合だけ引き受けますから。
あん時君も風邪ひいてたんだけどね。まあいいけど、私が何を言いたいかっていうとですね、エミヤンはいいやつでちょっとバカで、そのあたり私は心配なので、今度藤村にちょっとは顔出せやこらと伝えておいてほしいのです。
Neko-san circles her fingers while drinking some hot sake. She seems to think I am a firefly or something.
はあ。とにかく藤姉に伝言？
そう。じゃあね。あんまし頑張りすぎんなよ、少年。
いつの間にか橋越えてら。
I made it from the neighboring town of Shinto back to the Miyamiya city while I was daydreaming. I walked through the moonlit town. Walking up the road, I noticed that there aren't any people around. The time is around 7:30. There should be people around this time, but I see no sign of anyone.
そういえば確か。
There was some crime here in Miyamiya City a few days ago. A burglar murdered someone, I think. That must be why no one's around and why the school curfew became 6 o'clock.
ガス漏れに強盗か。物騒なことになってきたな。
No wonder there are fewer people walking around at night. It's getting too dangerous to let Sakura go home on her own. Sakura's house is in the residential area on the other side of town. Starting tonight, I should walk her home. For a moment, I can't believe my eyes. There's someone on the road, which I thought was empty. The person standing above me is looking down at me. Without realizing it, I hold my breath. The silver-haired girl smiles and descends the hill without a sound. As she passes,
早く呼び出さないと死んじゃうよ、お兄ちゃん。
she says something strange. I go up the hill and reach my house. As the lights are on, Sakura and Fujini must be home already. I smell dinner the moment I enter the living room. At the table are Sakura and Fujini in the middle of dinner. It seems the main dish tonight is chicken and cream, and Fujini, who loves white sauce, is in a good mood.
おかえりなさい先輩。お先に失礼していますね。
ただいま。遅くなってごめんな。もうちょっと早く帰ってくればよかったんだけど。
いいです。ちゃんと間に合いましたから。ちょっと待っててくださいね。すぐ用意しますから。
頼む。手を洗ってくるから、人のおかずを食べないように藤姉を見張っといてくれ。
はい、きちんと見張っています。
I return to my room. It's a fairly updated room compared to the shed, but since I don't have any hobbies, I think it's quite decorated. Most of them are random things Fujini has left here though. I wash my hands, change, and return to the living room to find my dinner ready.
いただきます。
はい、お口に合えばいいんですけど。
Sakura is terribly modest. Her cooking skills have vastly improved in the past year. She is completely beaten at Westerns, has me completely beaten at Western style foods, and I can barely touch her Japanese food. Neither of us have touched Chinese. I'm pleased my pupil is getting better, but it's kind of depressing when the teacher is defeated by the student. It's as good as I expected. Chicken becomes harder the longer you cook it, so it's juicier and tastier if you roast it before cooking it, even though it's tedious. That's done perfectly here. It's a master's skill, forever beyond the clumsy Fujini.
どうでしょうか先輩。今日のはうまくいったと思うんですけど。
文句なし。ホワイトソースも絶妙だ。もう洋物じゃさくらにはかなわないな。
さくらちゃんがご飯作ってくれるようになってからお肉関係が美味しくなった。
Fujini's so extra. With that, Fujini, who had been preoccupied with her food, lifts up her head.
あ、ダメよシロ。学生がこんな洋服に帰ってきちゃいけないんだから。
It seems she's in a bad mood now that she's seen my face, even though she was happy because of dinner.
もうまた誰かの手伝いをしてたんでしょう。それはそれでいいことだけど、こんな時ぐらいは早く帰ってきなさい。最近物騒だぞってホームルームで言ったじゃない。あれ、シローに倒して言ったんだからね。
あのさ、わざわざホームルームで言わなくてもうちで言えばいいんじゃないの？
ここで言っても聞かないもの。学校でガツンと言った方がシローには効果的なんだもん。
先生、それは職権乱用というか公私混同だと思います。
それぐらいしないとシローはダメなのよ。いつも人の手伝いばっかりして損してるからさ。たまにはまっすぐ帰ってきてのんびりしててもいいじゃない、バカチン。
バカチンとはなんだよ、バカチンとは。いいじゃないか。誰かの手伝いをしてそれでその人が助かるんなら損なんかしてないぞ。
キリツグさんに似たのかな。シローがそんなんじゃお姉ちゃん心配だよ。
I don't exactly know how she's worried, as she's energetically munching down on her dinner.
藤村先生、今の話からすると先輩って昔からそうなんですか？
昔からそうなの。なんか困ってる人がいたら自分から手を出しちゃうタイプ。
けどおせっかいってわけじゃなくて、シロはね単におませさんなのだ。
Fujini's laughs dangerously.
藤ね、余計なこと言ったら怒るぞ。もうさくらもつまんないこと聞くなよな。
I glare at them. Fujini clicks her tongue back.
藤村先生、お話を続けてください。
Sakura has taken the lesson seriously.
じゃあ話しちゃおう。これがね、シロは困った人を放っておけない性格なのよ。弱きを助け強きをくじくってやつ。子供の頃の作文なんてね、僕の夢は正義の味方になることですだったんだから。
She's talking about things from so long ago, but it's all true, so I don't interrupt. Anyways, becoming a superhero is a goal I must not stray from even now.
わあ、すごい子供だったんですね、先輩。
すごかったよ。年上の男の子にいじめられてる女の子がいたら助けに入ってくれたし、桐次さんが武将だったから家事だって一生懸命こなしてたし。あの頃は可愛くて純真だったのに、それがどうしてこんなひねくれた子になっちゃったんだろうな。
そりゃ藤姉がいたからだろう。ダメな大人を見てると子供はいろいろ考えるんだよ。悔しかったらちゃんと自分で飯作ってみろ。
Fujini crumbles. I thought she might drop her head and repent, but
お姉ちゃんは悲しいよ。さくらちゃん、おかわり。
Fujini asks for her third bowl. Relaxing after dinner, it's almost 9 o'clock.
さて、何をしたもんか。
There's some time before my evening training. I should... Yeah. Gotta be a gentleman, of course. I haven't thanked Sakura for dinner yet, so I'll go and talk to her.
そうだな。夜も遅いし、家まで送って行ってやらないと。
Or you could just have her stay here. Sakura is in the living room getting ready to go home, having finished the cleaning.
あれ、先輩、お風呂に入ってたんじゃないんですか？
Yes, please come in.
いや、風呂は後回し。さくらを送ってから入る。
送るって私をですか？
なあ、最近物騒だから家まで送る。さくらんち結構遠いだろ。わざわざ来てもらってるんだから、それぐらいはさせてくれ。
Sakura falls into an awkward silence. Did I say something bad?
ごめんなさい。気持ちは嬉しいんですけど、先輩は休んでいてください。家までだったら慣れてますし、一人でも大丈夫ですから。
いや、それはそうだろうけど、最近物騒だろ。しばらくは家まで送っていくよ。
でも、兄さんに見つかると、先輩にまで迷惑がかかります。
That's right. Sakura's brother Shinji doesn't approve of Sakura coming to my place. He can't object too strongly because he says she's going to Fujini's house, but it could be a problem if I take her home. I don't care about getting falsely accused myself, but it's not good for Shinji to take it out on Sakura.
けど、途中までならいいだろう。交差点あたりまでなら、シンジと会うこともないし。
Sakura is silent. Considering Sakura, she must not be able to lie to Shinji if I take her home even part of the way.
なあ、それじゃあ。
私が送っていこっか。
A tiger-striped English teacher appears.
ダメだよ。そんなの本末転倒じゃないか。女の子が夜出歩くから危ないっていうのに、さらに女の子を増やして。
No. It's a mistake to call Fujini a girl. For starters, she doesn't head the archery club for nothing. It's her 5th Dan Kendo skills are dangerous in many ways.
藤根なら大丈夫か。痴漢が出ても撃退できるだろうし。
できるよ。だからさくらちゃんを送っていくのも問題なし。それでいい？さくらちゃん。
はい、藤村先生がよろしいのでしたら。
決まりだね。それじゃあ行こっか。私も今日はそろそろ帰ろうかなって思ってたんだ。
Fushini starts to walk off, taking Sakura's hand.
ちょっと待った、さくら。
何ですか、先輩。
晩飯うまかったよ。いつもありがとな。
はい、ご迷惑でなかったら次も頑張りますね、先輩。
Saying so with a big smile, Sakura leaves the living room. I know I'm blushing. It's troublesome as Sakura surprises me a lot these days. Time flies, she was just a junior before, and now she's a female junior to me. How pitiful of me. Sakura's like family to me, so I can't accept this change. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? And so the day ends. Just before midnight, Emi Ashiro must carry out his daily routine of using magic. I stretch out and adjust my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and pay attention to only what's inside me.
Torres.
As if to hypnotize myself, I murmur the spell I'm long accustomed to. No, I am really hypnotizing myself. As I have no magic crest and no knowledge of magic, a spell is only a change to myself. Normally there are no lines in a human body to allow the passage of magical energy. To artificially change my body to create such a line, I need enough concentration to unify my whole body and every nerve within it. Magic is a battle with yourself. For instance, at this very moment, I am inserting a burning steel rod into my backbone. This metal rod is the only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. When I insert this deep into my body and connect it to the other nerves, I can finally become a magus. This is not a metaphor. In reality, something like a burning tongue which cannot be seen or felt is inserted into my backbone.
僕は魔法使いなんだ。
Emiya Karitsugu, the man who said so, was really a magus, a living magus who performed many marvels and had touched the very structure of the world. As a young child, I admired him and asked him to teach me magic. But you cannot become a magus just through effort. It requires natural-born talent and appropriate knowledge. And of course I have no talent, and Karitsugu taught me nothing of magic. He said something about me having no need of such knowledge. I still don't know what he meant by that, but still, it didn't matter to me back then. I thought that if I could use magic, I could be like him. But I was not born with talent, no strength of magical circuit, no accumulated works of magic handed down for generations. The work of magic Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down the Emiya family, can only be passed to a blood relation. A magic crest forces a rejection on those with no blood relation. So as an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's magic crest. Well, anyways, as I do not know what a magic crest is, it doesn't matter if I have one or not. So now it all comes down to training what I can do. If I want to be a magus, I have to learn magic fit to my nature. To be blunt, magic is a way to release one's magical energy. You could say that magical energy is my life force. It is divided into two forms: large source, mana, floating around the world, and small source, OD, created in oneself. It goes without saying that the large source is superior to the small one. The power of mana is on a completely different level from odd. Whatever the form of magic, a magical spell using a large source far exceeds one using one's own power. That is why superior magi excel in drawing magical energy from the world. It's like a filter. A magist turns his body into a filter and sucks up the mana from the world around him and changes it into something he can use. This filter is what we call a magic circuit. This is a talent one is born with. The number of magic circuits within you is determined by the moment you are born. Normally, human beings do not have many magical circuits. To begin with, there are always very few. That is why Magi pile them up generation after generation, making their children more suitable to use magic. I hear some families go too far and increase the number of magical circuits by selective breeding. Well, since I was raised in a normal family, I don't have many magical circuits. So that leaves only one method open to me. According to Kuritsugu, every person has at least one form of magic that they are fit for. He said something about drawing out magical energy appropriate to their origin, but I didn't really understand. All I know for sure is that I have some magic I can use, and if I train that magic, maybe I may be able to become like Kuritsugu. That's why I learned only that magic. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kuritsugu finally accepted me as a student.
いいかいシロ、魔術を習うということは常識からかけ離れるということだ。死ぬときは死に、殺すときは殺す。僕たちの本質は生ではなく死だからね。魔術と。
Sorry. I guess I had no fear as a child. Kuritsugu smiled bitterly, putting his hand on the nodding Emiya Shiro.
君に教えるのはそういった争いを呼ぶ類のものだ。だから人前で使ってはいけないし、難しいものだから鍛錬を怠ってもいけない。でもまあそれは破ったって構わない。一番大事なことはね、魔術は自分のためじゃなくて他人のためだけに使うということだよ。そうすればシローは魔術使いではあるけど魔術師ではなくなるからね。
I guess Kuritsugu did not want me to become a magus. I don't care about that. I don't admire a magus, I admire Kuritsugu. If I can become like Kuritsugu and be there for someone like on that red day, that will be... I'm thinking needlessly. I feel the iron rod in my backbone and slide into place. If I lose control of my breathing now, it would be a fatal mistake. The artificial magic circuit will eat away my body and destroy it. That sounds risky. If that happens, I'll die. Oh, okay. I would be only an amateur, failing in such an elementary step. I grind my teeth and resume the connection. After a battle like walking on needles, the iron rod finally arrives deep within me and fuses with my body. This process took me about an hour. After that much time, I'm finally able to make one artificial circuit, one circuit that produces magical energy.
基本可視解明。
After that, it becomes a process of naturally flowing magical energy. Emiyashiro is no magus. He is only a magic user who can create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. There is only one magic possible, which is...
構成材質解明。
strengthening objects. It is a magic of strengthening that reinforces the object's abilities by understanding the object's structure and channeling magical energy into it.
基本可視変更。
Before me is a metal pipe. I will channel magical energy into it, performing the simplest magic and reinforce its durability. Basically, channeling your magical energy into something other than yourself is like pouring poison into that object. It's just as the blood of Emiya is not the blood of the metal pipe. Pumping different blood only accelerates its breakdown. It certainly won't strengthen it. To prevent that, and to turn the poison into a tonic, one must completely understand the structure of the target and channel the magical energy into small open spaces. It must be easy for skilled magists, but for me, who can't even create sufficient magical energy, it's as hard as hitting a target 100 meters away. The usual target in archery is 28 meters away. How much harder is it at many times that distance goes without saying. The heat in my body quickly escapes. The burning pillar in my backbone disappears, and the lungs stretch to the limit demand air. It's so much harder for him than Rin, if you... God. I arc my back to hold off the daze, almost making me pass out. There's no change in the metal pipe. It seems that the magical energy I poured into it evaporated into thin air. The thing I'm attempting is like adding something to an already complete work of art. Adding to a complete object risks of making it less perfect. Adding unnecessary things will actually decrease the value. That's why the magic of strengthening is simple yet difficult, and only few magi use it willingly. It's not like I use it willingly either, but it can't be helped, as it's the only thing I'm good at. It would be much easier if I could just form something out of clay and use it instead, but a substitute in appearance doesn't have the internal structure to match. The junk around here is a good example. When I fail at strengthening magic, I make some substitute objects to practice and calm down, but they all end up with nothing inside. I can visualize something structured easily, so I can make the outside look like the original, but it's empty inside, and of course it doesn't do anything. What useful magic. I wiped the sweat off my brow. Now that I think about it, I realize my whole body is sweating like I've been drenched with buckets of water. But I'm lucky it ended like this. That was really bad. If I'd taken a second longer to recover myself, I probably would have destroyed most of my body. It's not even that easy, but it's true that you want to improve your magic if you're scared of death. As long as you study magic, death is always right beside you. Even a simple magic repeated every day can go off with a simple mistake, taking the caster's life. Jesus.
魔術師にとって一番初めの覚悟とは死をよ。
Kuritsugu said so sadly. Maybe he meant that he didn't want me to take such a step.
誰かを助けるということは誰かを助けないということ。正義の味方っていうのはとんでもないエゴイストなんだか。
Kuritsugu said that to me when I told him that I wanted to be just like him. I still don't know what he meant, but Emiya Shiro has become a superhero who goes around saving people, just like Emiya Kuritsugu. Has to become, sorry.
その割にこんな処方がうまくいかないんだもんな。なんでいざって時に雑念が入るんだ。
Baka. It's not enough to understand the structure of an object with mere vision. A skilled magist only detects what's important and channels magical energy without waste. My dream is to become a superhero. I remember what Fujini said during dinner. I don't think it's embarrassing nor impossible. It's already determined. Emiya Shiro will succeed Emiya Kuritsugu. That's why even though I'm inexperienced, I've done everything I can. I don't know what kind of person a superhero should be, so I can only approach it by helping others within the limits of my abilities. I have aimed straight for that goal the past 5 years, but when things just go wrong like this, I do have doubts.
点でわからないよ、親父。一体さ、何をすれば正義の味方になれるんだ？
Super. I look up at the sky through the window. It's not like I can just randomly do good deeds. I think being a superhero is different from just helping others. I know that, but the question is, how can I become one? The difference between the two is the thing I've failed to understand for the past 5 years. Alright. 1 day 2. What? 2 1 day 2. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. What I imagine are swords. I don't know why it is, but it's the only thing that comes to my mind. There's no meaning or reason to it. It just may be one of the aspects making up Emiya Shiro. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about magi. Even if I'm an amateur, if I'm a magus, it's only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. Frankly speaking, a magus is an exception who deviates from modern society. But even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that a group of magi called the Magic Association. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. The Magi Association hides magic and organizes magi. They basically keep watch to see that magi do not affect society with magic. But the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. What? According to Kuritsugu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. Even if a magus carries out his research at the expense of lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. This sounds like a flawed organization. Their priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So they're crazy people who think you can do anything as long as you don't get caught. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research will cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So the association does not allow research that would harm society. So magi stay at home and research quietly, while the normal world carries on unmolested. What a word to describe that. Hence, magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So perhaps I just don't know it, and a magus lives in this town. I would say that's a good guess. I hear Fuyuki is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has distinguished magus with a history. They are called the second owner, an elite, and the association entrusts the area to them. Magus who live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct a workshop. Looking at it like that, were thieves living here without permission of the landlord. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association and moved here without the consent of the administrator of Fuyuki. The owner does not know that Emiya Kuritsugu was a magus, and that Kuritsugu was not the owner, who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real magus, has passed away, and I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association and have not the skill to be a magus. From the association's point of view, they would want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I've just not been found out. Dude, you are not good at it, so that's probably why they haven't found you. But that doesn't mean that I can let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That just means that whatever you use magic for, a lack of care will create enemies. I, Emiya Shiro, just have to study independently, taking that into account. Word. I wake up and see the sun shining through the window. The sun may have just risen, but it's still a bit dark outside.
さすがに朝は辛いな。
I get up, try not to be defeated by the morning chill, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. One of my strengths is waking up at this time, no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late like yesterday, but I usually wake up early.
それじゃ朝飯と。
Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I have to return the favor this morning. I should finish preparing before Sakura arrives. I cook rice and make some miso soup. It was radish and carrot yesterday, so I make onion and potato miso soup today. I also make the usual broth, egg, and broth boil, and I'm done. I cut and salt the sori and stop just before cooking it.
よし、こんなんでいいか。
It's almost 6 o'clock. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some extra time. So what should I do?
そうだな。これだけ時間があれば一汗流せるか。
The morning exercises are my daily routine, so I'll go and stretch my body a bit. The empty dojo is quiet enough to brace myself. In the morning when the sun has just risen, the silence has a holy feel to it that fascinates those who come here.
さて。
There's only one thing to do now that I'm here. Since Kuritsugu died, this place has become a gym to train my body. Even a magus can't neglect to train their body. One of the requirements for a magus is to have excellent physical abilities. While Kuritsugu was alive, we had many matches here. Well, it's pretty much him beating on me, so I didn't learn anything about how to win a fight. But I think I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I was taught the difference between killing your opponent and beating your opponent. Knowledge and experience are different. Unless I know in advance, it's hard to tell whether I'm involved in a fight or a murder. It's a simple story. As long as you learn magic, you might destroy yourself, and times will come where you have to fight. For a magi, a fight means killing each other. So I think what Kuritsugu wanted to teach me was to prepare my mind for the prospect of death. But it's been a while since my teacher passed away. On my own, all I can do are simple exercises that anyone could do.
じゃあま、本格的にやっておくか。
After warming up by stretching, I start my exercises and keep my attention inside my body. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop here for today. But yeah, I mean, kind of right now, it's a bit of a slice of life kind of thing. He's kind of just, I don't know, we went through a class day, he did some training, but he sucks. There's a lot we have to learn about him and Sakura and Ren, and yeah, can't wait for Saber to come into this. So I think the third day is where shit hits the fan at the school and everything. So it'll be cool to see everything from his perspective as opposed to Ren's. But maybe it was the second. I think it's the third day. So I think we have another school day. Shoot. You know what? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out when I do the next one.